Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the coronavirus. I've been personally put off work for over a month due to the coronavirus. Once I got sick, I went to the hospital, had to wait out in the car. They come out, they check me. I had a fever. Okay, coronavirus. Couldn't go to work for almost 2 weeks to wait for the test to come back in. The test came in a week and a half later. I was negative, but because I still had symptoms, I was still not released to leave quarantine or to go back to work. Okay, let me say that again. I was negative for the coronavirus. The test came back negative, but because I still had symptoms, I was not allowed to return to work. Now, I'm not saying that, that's the worst, because a lot of people can't even go to work because of this. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of businesses are shutting down. I'm lucky enough to be an essential employee. But even after the damn test results come back, because I had symptoms for the coronavirus, I was not allowed to return back to work. Now, the problem with this is, whenever I went and they did the test of the coronavirus, they said it's most likely the flu. Did they test for the flu? No. They did the swab for the coronavirus. That's pleasant, by the way. They never once tested for the flu. They didn't test for anything else. They didn't swab my throat. They didn't do anything. They just gave me antibiotics and said, we'll call you when the results are in. So I still don't know what was wrong with me. I know I felt very ill. I thought at first, hey, maybe I have coronavirus. Maybe I have a really bad case of it. I'm a little overweight. I'm overweight. I'm a smoker. I have underlying factors. But it come back, no, it was not the coronavirus. It was, I don't know what it was. And nobody knows what it was because they didn't test for it. But we do know that it was not the coronavirus. So even though I did not have the coronavirus, I was not allowed to return to work for 3, 4, 5 days. I don't remember though, because this was only the first time. We're getting there. This is the first time. Because I still had symptoms of the coronavirus. So I could not be at work running around with these symptoms, even though I had just got a test back that said it wasn't the coronavirus. Also, I had to call this special hotline and talk to these special doctors over telemed. Doctors that did not see me, never knew me, did not test me, told me that even though the test came back negative, that I probably had the coronavirus because they said the test was 30 to 40% false negative. 30 to 40% false negative is what I was told. I was told that their belief was that even though I had negative results on the coronavirus test, they believed I still had coronavirus. So since they believed I still had coronavirus through the magic of coronavirus testing through a telemed, I was not allowed to go back to work until all my symptoms cleared up. Symptoms from what? I don't know. I don't know if I had the flu. Maybe I had strep throat. Maybe I just had bad cold. I don't know. Okay. Finally got back to work over that one. Well, I had a checkup with my doctor a few weeks ago. Just a checkup. Just a regular every 6 month scheduled checkup. So I go there. I get out. They're testing your temperature. When I get there, I wasn't feeling that great, I was glad I was going to see him anyway. I have allergies. It's November here. I'm in the South. It's cold, but there's pollen, and it's allergies. I get there, and I have a fever of 101.3. So I had to go back out, get in my car, drive around, let the doctor come out, or not even the doctor, because the doctors don't do it, and I understand why. The LPN came out, someone I've never met in my life, did another coronavirus swab, didn't test anything else, just did a coronavirus swab, sent me home, told me it would take 24 to 48 hours for the results to come back in. Well, lucky for me, they're really backed up because of all these tests they're doing, so it took 12 days for the test to come back in. Thankfully, at the end of that 12 days, my symptoms were over because they had given me, once again, antibiotics, which does nothing for the flu, by the way. So if I had the flu the first time, which is probably what I had, because it did last for the whole 2 weeks. I was really, really sick. But this time I think I just had like strep throat. So the antibiotics knocked that out. I felt good in 3 days. So almost 2 weeks later, when I got the test results back in, I was finally released. Actually, it was 1 day from being 2 weeks. I was released to go back to work. So now this is the second time I'd been tested for the coronavirus, and I didn't have the coronavirus. Now, no one's getting the flu anymore. Or at least according to the CDC, no one's getting the flu anymore. The CDC website right here, it just straight says flu symptoms are at an all-time low. Okay, the thing is, the symptoms for the coronavirus, it's November. It's flu season. It's cold. People are going to get cold. People are going to get sick. Fever, chills. God, that could be a lot of things. Cough. I have a smoker's cough. And I have Tourette syndrome. So I just cough anyway. Shortness of breath, difficulty breathing. Well, that's what happens when you get a chest cold. Fatigue, any kind of cold. Muscle or body aches, cold. That could be the flu. That could be anything. Headache. People get headaches. Sore throat. A lot of things. Congestion or runny nose, nausea or vomiting, diarrhea. When you compare that to the things from the flu, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, it's almost identical to the same thing. Except no one's getting the flu, but they are. But they're not testing for the flu. You go to the doctor and you're sick, they would do a flu swab. They would test you. But they're not now. They're just checking for the coronavirus. So you do the coronavirus. It takes a week or two for the test to come back. And by then you feel better because you've just been sitting home doing nothing because you feel like complete crap, drinking fluids, and just sitting there and sleeping because that's what you do when you have the flu. You feel like crap. So they don't know how many people have the flu because they're not testing. So why is it that they can put those swabs in my brain, through my nose, all the way up into my brain, but they can't do a flu swab while they're at it? They can't swab my throat to see if I have strep throat or, any other kind of test while they're at it. They're already sticking those damn things up in my brain. They can't just run something and do a little flu test while they're at it too. Because before all this coronavirus, when you go, they do a flu test and they tell you, okay, well, you have the flu or blah, blah, blah. But now they're just giving you antibiotics. Antibiotics do nothing for the flu. So taking antibiotics lowers your body's risk to fight infections. That's why, if not, we would just take antibiotics constantly. We would just take antibiotics every week. Every week we'd get a prescription of antibiotics and we'd be just fine. But you can't do that. So now they're just giving us antibiotics when we may have just had the flu. But we don't know because it didn't get tested. So I want to hear from you. Has anyone else been affected by this? God, I feel bad for the people that haven't even been able to work. People's businesses are shutting down. They're trying to shut down the economy. They're trying to shut down everything. They're trying to just shut down the United States. They're trying to tell us what we can do, what we can't do. I'm not saying, I'm just saying it looks like a pretty good, trying to slide into some martial law. It's more about control. Let's see what people can do. They got us wearing these stupid ass masks. Most people wear cloth masks. These little homemade single layer cloth masks, they do nothing. There's not one study that shows that your mask, your homemade mask, is effective unless it is washed daily in a hospital grade commercial washing machine. If it's not, if you're just putting it in your washing machine, there's not one study that shows that mask's effective. But everybody's just running around in these masks. And I'm not saying the masks don't help. I'm not saying they do. I'm saying I have not saw one study that says these little homemade doily masks that everybody are wearing are effective at stopping the coronavirus unless they are washed daily in a hospital grade washing machine. Do you have a hospital grade washing machine in your house? I don't. Plus, the masks that everyone are using, the little masks that go over your face here, the little paper and then go around your ear, those are not rated for this. You see these people and they go deal with viruses, they're in full suits. They have respirators. They have No one's going to go dealing with a deadly virus with a little hospital grade in a lab. That's just not how that works. I don't know. I'm kind of a dumb shit. But leave me a comment and let's talk about it. Send me a link. If you have proof of something, if you have something showing me that the little mask that your grandma made you with the little doilies and the nice little pretty flowers and stuff on it are helping protect us, please send me that study. Educate me. Show me. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. There's a comment box. There's a comment box right down there for this reason. And we can talk. You want to come on and talk to me about it? Cool. Great. I want to know something about it. I just know that, like, when I have to go to the doctor again, I don't want to have to get quarantined. And, you know, I still haven't even got to see the doctor because now I have to wait to get back in. No test. Just all I'm saying is when I go to the doctor and I feel bad, can I just, like, while you're ramming that thing from my nose up to the back of my damn brain, can you also just, like, swab my throat? So while you're also testing for the coronavirus, could you maybe test for flu? Could you maybe test for strep? Could you maybe just tell me if I have a common cold? Could you maybe, you know, after this is over and like in my first case when the results came back, but I still felt like crap, could you maybe be like, okay, well, so you don't have the coronavirus because we just tested you for this. So we tested you for a reason. So if it came back negative, we're going to take that you don't have it. So now come in and let's find out what's wrong with you so we can actually give you the medicine to treat you. Instead of, oh, we tested you and the test came back negative, but you still may have the coronavirus because you have symptoms. So you can't come to the doctor because when you're sick, you definitely don't want to go to the doctor to find out why. And you definitely don't want to get on the right medication. Okay. Ran over. Seriously, like, subscribe, ring the little bell. I'm going to be putting out a lot of more videos. It's a brand new channel. Hit me up in the comments below. My name's David. Have a good night.